Hi guys, Joseph Small here at Wellingborough Golf Club, and today we're going to talk about the classic pitch shot. Now, a couple of things that we find this shot quite awkward. It's not quite a full swing, and it's not a chip shot. Like I said, it just sits in the middle, and it can throw people off a little bit on a couple of things. A, technique. You know, what's different from me standing there hitting a normal swing? The second thing is decision making. When I'm faced with this awkward yardage, what club am I playing from what situation? Is there a right or wrong club to play from certain parts on the golf course when I'm faced with this awkward yardage? So hopefully by the end of this video we will have a much clearer understanding on what club to play from what scenario, and a much clearer idea on the technique behind this shot also. Okay guys, let's get stuck in and see what we can do. Okay guys, first things first, what I want you to do, I want you to know is how far do you hit your wedges from a full swing capacity. So I hit my pitching wedge 120 yards, this is a full swing. My gap wedge, which is my 52 degree, that goes 110 yards. My 56 degree wedge, which is my sand wedge, goes 100 yards. And my lob wedge, my 60 degree, goes around 80 yards. Now these aren't numbers where I'm hitting it flat out, because we never really want to be hitting a wedge flat out, so to speak, because this is a scoring element to our game. We don't want to be, like I say, going flat out, because effectively you lose control and you lose direction when we do stuff like this. So that's just my flat numbers for my wedges. Okay. Right, let's get stuck into the basics straight away, and this is what I'm talking about: setup. When I'm faced with a 50-60 yard pitch shot, I'm just going to talk to you about a couple of real key components: weight distribution and sort of width of stance. Okay, so first things first is when I'm playing this shot, because it's only 50-60 yards, I don't want to have my weight split evenly. If I have my weight split evenly, 50-50 on either foot, I feel like I'm almost having to make a raw movement off the ball and then back towards the other side. I don't need to do it. I'm only playing a shot of this yardage, so I'm going to predominantly keep 60% of my weight on my left side, my lead foot, and 40% on my trail foot. And what I'm going to then try and do is, when I make my swing, I'm going to maintain that pressure favouring my lead foot. So I'm not going to move off the ball. I'm going to hit a full shot, because again, that's generating a lot of momentum, a lot of speed, a lot of power. I don't need it for this shot. Like I say, 60 yard pitch, guys. So pressure, 60-40 favouring my lead foot. It's going to maintain that side throughout my action. Now, because I've shifted my pressure onto my lead foot, naturally what I'm then going to do is my handle's going to go slightly ahead. What this does, encourages a descending blow. So it encourages my club to be travelling on the way down. If I have my hands level, weight split, probably on my back foot, you can see naturally I'm more encouraged to hit it on the up like a driver. Don't want to do that. This club's got all this loft on it. I don't want to help it in the air. I want to encourage using the loft. So hence why I'm going to swing down on the ball on the descent, and the loft is going to do the work for me. Full position, the forward weight, forward there. Second thing, stance. As you can notice, I've reduced my width of stance quite considerably to inside my shoulder width. Again, the reason is I'm only playing a short yardage, so I don't need to stand there like I'm going to bust driver. I want to be slightly narrow shoulder width, pressure on my lead foot. Like I say, I'm going to keep them there. The other thing I'm going to make sure I do is my grip. Okay, so I'm going to come down probably an inch, couple of inches on the handle of the grip. Again, this is more of a control purpose, and again, it obviously shortens the club, which shortens the length of shot. And I just feel a bit more in control as well. So we all talk about feels all the time, and that to me is a big one. So there's three things there that's really going to help me control this shot a lot better than I would do if I was standing there, feet shoulder width apart, weight split evenly, and holding it on top of the grip. Okay guys, so from a technical standpoint, we're going to talk about how to play this sort of shot based on what our body patterns do, and how it differs, like I say, from a normal swing. So I'm going to give us a yardage of 50 yards. Now, if we remember, when I go back to my full yardages with my wedges, I talked about my 56 degree being my sand wedge goes 100 yards. So this shot now is at 50 yards. So the reason I state that, like I said at the time, is because at the back of my mind now, if I've got 50 yards, I'm going to pull my 56 degree, and I think, well, that's going to be 50% of a normal swing, right? So that straight away gives me that confidence to make a half a swing with this club, knowing that obviously all being well, I get the strike and the distance control and everything else and direction good, that will give me the yardage. So again, psychologically, it just gives us that confidence that we know that we're not going to hit it too far or too short if I execute it how I want to execute it. What I'm going to do, as we spoke about, our technique, I'm going to get myself set up in this sort of right sort of area here. I've got my feet slightly narrowed together. My ball position is central in my stance with my handle slightly ahead. My weight is leading on my front foot here. And what I'm looking to do is, you can see this sort of triangle in my arms here. So this sort of upside down triangle I've positioned myself. I'm going to try and maintain this throughout my swing. So I call this like my engine. So my chest is my engine. If my engine breaks down, I can get very flicky, very handsy, and then I lose control of it, get very tight, and my small muscles take over, and then a big variety of shots can kick in. So I'm going to keep my triangle, as you can see, keep my engine working, don't let it break down, keep that moving, keep that acceleration up through the ball. One of the biggest common mistakes I see with these type of shots is we'll get people slow down. You know, a real common thing is that people leave these shots short all the time because that fear of going long, or just that uncertainty on how far they hit the clubs, hence knowing the yardages. Okay, so I'm going to keep my engine moving. Let's have a go. Let's get myself set, got my body right, ball position's in good position there. Okay. Right guys, let's talk decision making. So let's paint a picture right now, okay? We've got a 40-yard shot. It's all flat in front of us. You know, there's no real obstacles, there's no bunkers, there's nothing in play. The pin's right at the back of the green. So you've got 15 yards to get to the green, and then you've got the whole of the rest of the distance is all green. So then your next 25 yards is all green, okay? So what I'm going to do, there's a couple options that we'll tend to see when playing the shots. I'm going to take my most lofted wedge, I'm going to fly it all the way. Fly all the way to the flag, it's going to stop, it's going to fly all of its 40 yards, and it's going to stop instantly. Okay, that's great if it comes off, but it's a bit Hollywood. Okay, it's a bit of a risk and reward shot, shall we say. Well, we don't really need to do it. You know, I want to make this as easy as possible for myself, hence why we have all of these wedges at our disposal. So I'm going to take my pitching wedge, and I think I'm going to land this ball half its direction and then let it release the rest of its way. So again, I'll get that very much in my mind on ball position, feet are slightly withdrawn to the target, I come down on the handle, pressure's forward, and I'm going to make a swing. Again, if I do the calculation in my head, pitching wedge is 120 yards. Okay, so that's well short of 50%. I've got to bring this right down. I'm going to have a couple of practice swings next to the ball just to get a real feel for that shot. Once I'm then happy, I've got my engine moving, I'm going to keep everything turning, keep my technique sound, and hopefully execute something that's going to get me close. The main reason I'm going to play that is it's a lot easier. Don't make it hard. The game is hard enough. We don't need to make it harder by trying that Phil Mickelson Hollywood shot. Yeah, like I say, great if it comes off, but just think about it. Try and make the game easy for yourself. Play the clubs that will make this shot easier. Another thing to mention there is obviously conditions. Like if you were going out to play golf right now in the UK, everything will just drop and stop, regardless if you're playing a pitching wedge or lob wedge. I would say that counts for all scenarios when we're playing these shots around the greens. You know, look at the situation in front of you, assess the situation, go through that process, and like I say, it will make life easier for you when you are playing the shots. Okay guys, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully now you've got a much more of a clear idea on the technique behind these pitch shots and also the decision making that goes with these shots from certain areas. You know, where's your margin for error? What club am I going to play from what situation? Just a lot more of a clear indication on how to play these shots. Okay, thanks very much guys. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, click the like button, hit the subscribe, leave a comment below, and we will see you next time. Cheers.